Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from. The county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one man I can never ever sympathize with, then that man is the truthful man, Rigathi Gachagua. I can never sympathize with Rigathi Gachagua because when he had power, Rigathi Gachagua forgot that power is temporary and that power is fluid, and Rigathi Gachagua was arrogant with power. Today, I came across a post by Rigathi Gachagua, and in that post, Rigathi Gachagua was literally crying and asking William Ruto and security agencies to leave him alone. I asked myself whether this is the same Rigathi Gachagua who the other day was waking up very early in the morning at 5 a.m. to go and use the same security apparatus against Azimio supporters. But I respect his rights, and I would always demand for respect of Rigathi Gachagua because he was once our deputy president. I want us to do a critical analysis about the post Rigathi Gachagua made on his official social media pages, where he's alleging that security forces are being used to trail him. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to also take this opportunity to introduce you guys to LemFi. LemFi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money back to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and the money will be delivered instantly into your M-Pesa account, Airtel Money account, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in and let us head straight to Rigathi Gachagua's Facebook page, the verified one, and go through what Rigathi Gachagua posted. This is what Rigathi Gachagua posted. Security agents in unmarked cars have been following me wherever I go. This is a former deputy president. I'm not so sure whether all the securities were withdrawn from him. Immediately he was impeached, because in an ordinary circumstance, all former presidents are still entitled to some kind of security. And he's proceeding. They are parking at the entrance of my Nairobi residence, taking note of all my visitors. And they trail me whenever I leave the house, even all the way to my rural home in Nyeri. Of course, this was expected, because the people in leadership today are remnants of Youth for KANU. Because in developed worlds or countries, we don't be talking of someone taking a car with security and parking at someone's gate. When you leave, they follow you. I mean, that's old school. And it proceeds here. Last Sunday, the below car that was parked at the entrance to my residence trailed me to PCA, Kararapon Church, followed me to where I went for a late lunch, and back to the house. Upon checking the NTSA portal, I noticed that the number plates are registered to a lorry. Because the expectation is if these guys are trailing Rigathi Gachagua and they are police officers, there's a way they should be trailed to police officers, traced back to police officers, sorry. But we also know that the police officers in the Republic of Kenya are normally using this kind of fake number plates. In fact, Rigathi Gachagua has done a fantastic job here. He has even shared the details of the car. I think he assigned someone and they took photo of the car and the number plate. You know, this is a KDK, recent number plate. And yeah, and a caveat. Okay. So they've shared the details there. Let us proceed. This surveillance and intimidation of Kenyans was last witnessed during the era of the dreaded special branch during the 24 years of Moi's misrule. You know, it's also shocking that Rigathi Gachagua, who worked very closely during the 24 years of the dreaded special branch with Moi, is now talking of misrule. Okay? In this era of extrajudicial killings, forced abductions, and disappearances by state agents, I have thought it important to share with Kenyans the harassment and intimidation I am going through and inform them to hold the state responsible if I'm harmed by state agents. I request the state to leave me alone. You hounded me out of office, and you should now allow me to enjoy my peace as a private citizen. I agree with Rigathi Gachagua. What Rigathi Gachagua has done is actually the best, exposing whatever is happening to him, and he even took photos. It is now upon the government to go and trace those pictures if they are claiming that nobody is following Rigathi Gachagua. And the fact that Rigathi Gachagua has now shared this with Kenyans is also very important, so that in case anything happens to Rigathi Gachagua, because look at it, if a senior opposition leader from Uganda, Besigye, can be abducted in Kenya, Nairobi capital, and transported back to Uganda, yeah, and the government is denying knowledge, then nobody is safe in the Republic of Kenya. But in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. There is no way police or the security agents would just decide to station themselves and trail Rigathi Gachagua. It means someone somewhere sent them, and I doubt if that operation can be conducted without the knowledge of the president himself. Because Rigathi Gachagua is a former deputy president. As we speak today, Rigathi Gachagua is commanding the mountain. And therefore, it's even a risky affair for the police officers to trail Rigathi Gachagua to his home. For example, what will happen to these guys if, for example, Rigathi Gachagua were to go to his rural home, the way these guys are saying, and then Rigathi Gachagua mobilize people to attack these police officers? That can happen. So there's no way this operation can just be conducted without the National Security Advisory Council, which is headed by the president, aware. So in my view, the intention are as follows. Number one, in my view, I think someone somewhere advised or misadvised the president and the government that the best strategy of containing Rigathi Gachagua is to intimidate Rigathi Gachagua. Because remember, this is a guy who was a DO. This is a guy who was a deputy president. He became a member of parliament and then now impeached. So how do you instill fear in him? Intimidate. How do you intimidate? Station police vehicles around his house, trail him, And that's why even Rigathi Gachagua in his own post is alluding to intimidation. Let me just read for you that part. That part is saying, I have thought it important to share with the Kenyans the harassment and intimidation I am going through and inform them to hold the state responsible if I am harmed by the state agents. So basically someone is out to intimidate Rigathi Gachagua. Maybe they don't want him to play politics. They don't want him to get out. They don't want him to meet with the people. So that's number one. Number two, and I think this is the main intention, to scare the allies of Rigathi Gachagua from paying a visit to him, or even to deter Rigathi Gachagua from sneaking out, to deter Rigathi Gachagua from sneaking out of his house or office to go and meet secretly with his friends and allies. Let's assume you are a member of parliament and you are supporting Rigathi Gachagua. Then you go to Rigathi Gachagua's house and you sit there, and from his CCTV, he's showing you that you see that vehicle there. That vehicle there is a police vehicle. It has been trailing me. You know, that member of parliament will find it very difficult to again go and visit Rigathi Gachagua because number one, his privacy is already compromised. So it will be difficult for them. So in my view, I think someone decided that let us scare Rigathi Gachagua's allies from visiting him. Unless they are courageous enough, very few allies of Rigathi Gachagua will be willing to visit him. Number three, I think there's also the idea or the intention of trying to restrict or to monitor Rigathi Gachagua's movements. I think the government wants to monitor Rigathi Gachagua, and probably they're not going to do this throughout. They just wanted to do it for some time to monitor Rigathi Gachagua's movement. From morning, who is Rigathi Gachagua meeting? Where is he going to? Who is coming to his house? Who are the frequent visitors? I am sure they might even be snooping on his conversations to get the details. So the people he meets, who are they? Where does he go from home? Because the other day there was this story that Rigathi Gachagua was planning to overthrow the government and he was impeached. Then there's been the story that Rigathi Gachagua is trying to mobilize his troops and probably to form a political party. So the question is, who is he meeting? Who are they? Who are his allies? Where are the meetings frequent? Are the people visiting him in Nairobi the same people visiting him in the village? So maybe they just want to monitor the movements of Rigathi Gachagua and of course the people he meets. And importantly, I think someone is also out to provoke Rigathi Gachagua to see how he's going to react. If he stations the police around his house, does he have the capacity to call reinforcement from his supporters? Like, I want to assume, let's just assume that this was happening in Raila Odinga's current residence, that a vehicle keeps on being stationed there. You can be rest assured that some followers from Kibra, some followers from Kayole, and maybe from those Eastlands area would rush to go and cause commotion. So they're trying to provoke Rigathi to see whether he has that ability. And lastly, I think they're testing the level of Rigathi Gachagua's personal security. In case the government withdrew his security, does he have a new security? And who are they? Can they go and confront these people? Because remember, if your gate is here and a vehicle is parked outside, not right at your gate, I mean, you can't go and complain, yeah, unless the area is restricted. So they just want to check the level of Rigathi Gachagua's personal security. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Makwiny. And by the way, what do you think is the best strategy for Rigathi Gachagua? For me, he needs to form his own political party moving forward. Until that time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.